Principle of superposition of waves. When two pulses or waves overlap, the resultant displacement is the algebraic sum of the displacements due to each pulse or wave here. Let us say what happens if two waves pulses are coming in opposite direction, approaching in opposite directions. So for this let me take a string here. This is the first wave pulse, and this is another wave pulse which is coming in this direction. This is the pulse which is coming in this direction. So after some time what happens, as this pulse is traveling here, this pulse can be drawn like this, and this pulse also moves drawn like this. So this is the pulse which is traveling in opposite directions. And in the next second, this is t is equal to 0, t is equal to t1, t is equal to t2. On the same string, two pulses are coming or approaching each other. Now in the next diagram, this pulse will come like this wave will come like this. And then when t is equal to t3, this pulse will go like this, and this pulse will come like this. So what happens to this one? So after this next one, when t is equal to t4, this will go like this, and this will come like this. So what is happening here? When this pulse is traveling with some velocity, this is traveling along positive x-axis, this pulse is traveling along negative x-axis. So when they crossed, they are retaining their identity. That means the shape is not changing here after crossing. Before crossing their identity was same, after crossing also it is continuing like this. But here also before approaching this one, identity will be like this. Then after crossing this one, it will retain its identity like this. But while they are meeting in this, during the overlapping time, what happens? The net displacement, here you can see in this diagram, this amplitude is positive here. So let me take it as A here, and this amplitude, this displacement is positive here. So I am taking this as a y1, and this is a negative minus y2. So this is y1 and this is y2 here, but this is negative here, minus y2 plus y1. But here the net displacement of this overlapping pulse is given by y1 minus y2. This is the net displacement here. Once again, this is y1 and this will become minus y2. So whenever two wave pulses coming towards each other, while moving towards each other till they come to this point, they maintain their identity. The pulse will travel like this. So during overlapping only, the pulses will combine together. After that, they will continue, they retain their identity. So what is happening here? In this time, at the time of overlapping, here what happens? The net displacement of this one is given by algebraic sum of the displacement of these two pulses. So this is known as principle of superposition of the waves here or pulses. So now let me explain this one. When two pulses or waves overlap, during overlapping, the resultant displacement is the algebraic sum of the displacements due to each pulse. So this pulse is having displacement y1, this pulse is having displacement minus y1. So here, if you take the algebraic sums here, so positive pulse you take it as positive and negative pulse you take it as negative. So the y net is given by, this is y1 plus minus y2. So y net is given by y1 minus y2 in this case. Suppose if displacement of the first wave is exactly equal to the displacement of second wave, here y net will become 0 here. That means these two pulses will not appear here. Instead of this one, positive and negative, when these two are added, so you will get a region where these two pulses will disappear for a fraction of a second and they continue here. If you take a string On the string, let us say there are two waves which are traveling in the opposite direction. This wave we are going to represent as y is equal to a sin kx minus omega t, and this wave, let me denote this as y2 is equal a sin kx minus omega t plus phi. That means there is a phase difference of phi between these two. Now, when these two superimpose with each other, according to principle of superposition of the waves, we can write y is equal to y1 plus y2, which is equal to a sin kx minus omega t plus the other wave is a sin kx minus omega t plus phi. As this wave is traveling in the opposite direction, so I am writing this sine wave only. I am not keeping this plus because I am writing this phase difference here. So now if you take a common, this is sine c plus sine d. So from the law of transformations, this will become 2 sine c plus d by 2 cos c minus d by 2, that is kx minus omega t minus kx minus omega t. So kx minus kx get cancel, minus omega t minus or plus omega t cancel, this will become phi by 2. So from this we can write the equation of the resultant wave is 2 into a 2a cos phi by 2 sin kx 2kx by 2, that is kx minus omega t minus 2 omega t by 2, this will become minus omega t plus phi by 2. So this is the displacement equation of the resultant wave when these two waves which are traveling in the opposition superimposed with each other. So here you can see this is the amplitude of the wave. Amplitude of result wave formed due to the resultant wave formed due to the superposition of these two waves. That means here displacement is some amplitude into sine of kx minus omega t. Original wave is kx minus omega t. The other wave is also which is acting in coming in the opposite direction is kx minus omega t plus phi. But the phase is become phi by 2 here. So this retains as it is kx minus omega t. That means displacement here depends only on kx minus omega t. But displacement of the resultant wave depends not only on kx minus omega t, it also depends upon this phase here where phi is the phase. So y depends on phase when these two superimpose with each other. What happens if phi is equal to 0? What happens if phi is equal to 90? And what happens if phi is equal to 180? We will check it now. Resultant equation of the wave is 2a cos phi by 2 sin kx minus omega t plus phi by 2. This is the equation of that resultant wave. Suppose if you take phi is equal to 0, if the phase difference between these two is 0, then y will become 2a cos 0 by 2 sin kx minus omega t plus 0 by 2 is 0 only. So that equation will become 2a cos 0 by something is 0, 1 sin kx minus omega t. So this is the equation. So generally if we keep a phi 0 here, this is a sin kx minus omega t. This will also become a sin kx minus omega t because phi is 0. So this is just adding these two, you will get a sin kx minus omega t plus a sin kx minus omega t will become 2a sin kx minus omega t. So this is the first equation. Now suppose what is the amplitude of this one? Amplitude of individual wave is a, and the second wave is also having amplitude a. The resultant wave will have an amplitude a, 2a, if phi is equal to 0. So that also you have to write. If phi is equal to 0, here I am going to write amplitude here. Amplitude will become capital A is equal to 2a cos 0 by 2, that is 2a. Now if phi is equal to pi, that is 180 degrees, then what happens to this equation? Y is equal to 2a cos pi by 2 sin kx minus omega t plus this value will be pi by 2 once again. This is pi by 2. Now this is cos 90 which is equal to 0. So 0 into anything is 0. So the displacement will become 0 if they have a phase difference of pi here. And what is the amplitude of this wave? The amplitude of this wave 2a cos 90 which is equal to 0. That means the maximum amplitude is obtained if they don't have any phase difference. The minimum amplitude will be obtained if they have a phase difference of pi radians. Reflection of waves. Let us say one wave is traveling in the positive x direction and it is a pulse that is created, pulse of a wave that is created on a string here. So when the string is vibrated such that a pulse is traveling in this direction, this pulse will travel slowly. So this is the next position, this position. So when it strikes this one, the pulse will apply some force on this wall or the rigid support wall. At the same time, wall also produce or apply, according to Newton's third law, pulse will apply a force on the wall will apply a force on the pulse, so that a pulse will be created, which is differed by 180 degrees or pi by 2 meters distance here. So when it strikes a rigid support like wall or any other rigid support, the change in phase will be exactly equal to pi radians. So if a crest strikes this one, a trough will be formed on reflected wave. So this is the incident wave and this is the reflected wave. So what is the phase difference between incident and reflected waves when the string is or when the wave or the pulse is striking a rigid support? When the wave strikes a rigid support is phi radians. So here what happens to the net displacement? As this displacement is positive here, this displacement is negative. Whenever a wave or a wave pulse strikes a rigid support, the net displacement here in this case, net displacement at this point at the rigid support will become 0. Will be 0. So why? Because this is the positive displacement and this is the negative displacement. So let me denote this as plus y, this is minus y. So y net will be 0. But whereas if you take a rod here and a ring is attached to this rod and a wire is connected or thread is connected here, a string is connected here. When this pulse is moving here, this pulse slowly moves in this direction. When this is striking this ring here, a force will exert on the ring will try to exert a force on this one, but ring is not fixed here. So as it moves, once again it will produce a wave which is having 0 phase difference here. So the phase difference is 0 radians here. So delta phi is equal to 0 and the net displacement in this case will become, net displacement will be, the original wave or incident wave is having a displacement of y. The reflected wave also has a displacement of y. So the net displacement is given by 2y here. In this case, when the wave is traveling along a string which is connected to a rigid support, this is the incident wave. Here I will take this as incident wave of displacement y1. So I can write y1 as a sine kx minus omega t. As this wave has a phase difference of 180 degrees here or pi radians, the reflected wave is, this is incident wave yi, the reflected wave has a phase difference of pi. So the resultant wave which is acting coming in the opposite direction will have pi radians here. So this is sine theta plus pi, or pi plus theta will become y reflected is equal minus a sine kx minus omega t. Now what is the resultant displacement of this wave at this point? The resultant displacement is given by y is equal to y incident plus y reflected, a sin kx minus omega t plus minus of a sin kx minus omega t, and together this will become 0 here. Similarly, this is for a rigid support. Similarly, for a wave which is traveling along a string connected to a ring here, so not a result support here, this incident wave here, I will denote this incident wave as yi, which is equal to a sin kx minus omega t, and the reflected wave is equal to a sin kx minus omega t plus 0. Why? Because for a non-rigid support, phase difference is 0. So I am writing for this reflected wave, this is kx minus omega t plus 0. Now if you combine these two, according to that principle of superposition of waves, y can be written as y1 plus y2, which is nothing but these two are similar equations. You will get 2a sin kx minus omega t. So what is the resultant amplitude of that pulse that is produced here, which is given by 2a? Already we discussed this previously with the help of the diagram, now with the help of the equations. In this principle of superposition of waves, we have three different cases here. The first one, two waves approaching opposite to each other, but these two waves are, let us say, identical waves, and here two identical waves traveling in same direction. Third one, two waves of nearly equal frequencies traveling in same direction. In the first case, identical waves traveling in opposite direction, opposite to each other. So this is the first wave, and this is the second wave, which is identical and opposite there. So this is called a stationary wave or standing wave So when the standing waves will be formed, standing waves are formed if two identical waves with the equal amplitude and equal frequency. When they are having equal frequency, we can say they are having equal wavelength, because see, velocity is equal to frequency into lambda. As velocity is same in a given medium, when the frequency is same, wavelength must be same. But they have a phase difference here, because this wave and this wave are having a phase difference here. So, but here two identical waves having a constant phase difference traveling in opposite direction gives these stationary waves. Now, two identical waves traveling in same direction. So this is the first wave and this is the second wave. So these are the two identical waves traveling in the same direction. When these two combine or superimpose with each other, we will get a wave. This is the resultant wave here, which is having more wavelength, more amplitude. So this is called interference. So when interference takes place, if two identical waves traveling in same direction with the same frequency may have different amplitudes here, but here identical means they have same frequency and same wavelength. In the third case, two waves of nearly equal frequencies traveling in same direction. So here two waves are traveling in the same direction here. This is the first wave and this is the second wave, but their frequencies are not equal but nearly equal. When the frequencies are slightly changes, wavelength also slightly changes. So this is the waves here. Now the first wave, let us see, it is like this. You can see the wavelength of the first wave is not equal to wavelength of the second wave. So due to this, what happens? When these two superimpose each other, you will get waxing and waning of sound. Waxing and waning. So what is this waxing and waning of waves? Here crest almost combines with crest here, but here crest combines with 0. Here somewhere here, if you take crest may combine with the trough also. So when the trough combines with the crest, here the resultant amplitude will displacement will become 0. Here resultant amplitude will become, if it is A and A, so this will become 2A. If amplitude is maximum, then it is called waxing. When the amplitude is 0 or the displacement is 0, here displacement is 2A, here displacement is 0, and this corresponding to waning. So this phenomena is known as beads. Here standing waves are also known as stationary waves. And their normal modes. Now, just now we studied about a pulse which is traveling along a string and reflected from a surface or result support here. So it comes in the opposite. This pulse will be coming in the opposite direction. But what happens if a string is fixed between two supports here, two fixed supports here, and if you produce a wave here, this wave will travel like this, and this pulse will travel in this direction, moves here, and after striking this result support, and it will come back in the opposite direction. So this will continue till a fixed pattern is formed between these two. A fixed pattern of the wave, fixed pattern of waves are formed. This is called a stationary wave. So to explain this one, first let me take the wave which is traveling towards positive x direction and a wave which is traveling in the along negative x direction. So from this we can write y1 is equal a sine kx minus omega t is the wave that is traveling along positive x direction. And what is the wave equation for this wave which is traveling along negative x direction, which is given by y2. So this is y1 here and this is y2 here, which is traveling along negative x-axis, which is given by a sine kx plus omega t. Now when these two superimpose with each other, we know that from the law of superposition or principle of superposition of waves, the net displacement of this wave that is produced at any point is given by y is equal to y1 plus y2. These are the displacement of the individual waves. So now I am going to write this as a sine kx minus omega t plus a sine kx plus omega t. So if you take a common here, this is sine c plus sine d, 2 sine c plus d by 2, c plus d by 2, cos c minus d by 2. So this can be written as 2 into a, this will become 2a sine, this is minus omega t plus omega t cancel. This is kx plus kx, 2kx. So this is 2kx by 2, which is equal to kx. And here kx minus kx get cancelled. This is cos of minus 2 omega t by 2. Cos of minus theta is theta only. So this you can write cos omega t. So the resultant displacement of this wave is given by 2a sin kx cos omega t. The main difference between a traveling wave and a stationary or standing wave is, in a traveling wave kx and omega 2 are combined together, whereas in a stationary wave kx and omega t are separated here. So that is the main difference between a traveling wave and a stationary wave. So whenever a question is given in any competitive exams or in PU exam, if kx minus omega t is combined, whether it is kx minus omega t or kx plus omega t or omega t minus kx or omega t plus kx, so this always gives a traveling wave, whereas a stationary wave kx and omega t are separated by either sine or cosine function. The equation of stationary wave y is equal to 2a cos kx sin omega t. This is the amplitude of the stationary wave. So amplitude is given by 2a sin kx. Now in this equation also, if you take this wave which is traveling in this direction like this, this is the wave which is traveling in the positive x direction, and these are not the pulses, let me take only the waves, and these are the waves which are traveling in the opposite direction. And this pattern, fixed pattern, as I said earlier, a fixed pattern is formed on the string, and this is called a stationary wave. Here you can see this particle will have only zero displacement along y-axis. So throughout this stationary wave, displacement of the particle will be zero only. But if you take this particle, its amplitude is always maximum, that is displacement maximum, or it will oscillate with the same amplitude this much only. And here displacement is maximum. So there are some points in this stationary wave where the displacement is always minimum, and here these are the displacements where they have maximum displacements. So the first wave, I am going to keep this actual wave or incident wave which is traveling in the positive x direction with a thick line here. Now this is the incident wave, and this is the reflected wave from this result support. So it is reflecting in this direction. Once again it undergo phase difference of phi and it travel like this. So this pattern will continue, but if the length of the string is too large, this pattern may become zero or this pattern may disappear. But if it is short wire, short string, this pattern will continue and it retains for some time. Now here, where the displacement is zero, those points are called nodes here. So where n stands for node, node is the point where the displacement is zero. Displacement is zero. And the points where the displacement is maximum, and these points are called antinodes here. So A denotes antinode where displacement is maximum. So from this statement or this equation, how to find where you will get zero displacement, where you will get maximum displacement. Now we will check it now. So first let me take the amplitude of the stationary wave, which is equal to 2a sin kx. Here amplitude I am going to write once again here, which is equal to 2a sin kx, which is equal to a. Now at node what happens? At nodes the displacement is 0. Now when displacement is 0, compulsory the amplitude of the wave must be equal to 0. So I am going to write amplitude is equal to 2a sin kx is equal to 0. So when it is possible, remember students, 2 is a constant, a is the amplitude of the individual wave which is also constant. So for this value to become 0, compulsory this sine function must be equal to 0. So sine kx must be equal to 0 whenever a node is formed in a stationary wave. So from this concept we can write sine kx is equal to 0, or it can be sine 0 degrees. So we know that sine 0 is 0. Once again, one more possibility is sine 180 radians, which is also equal to 0. Or the third possibility, sine 2 pi, sine 3 pi, and so on, sine 2n pi here. Or you can write directly here, as it is 1 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, directly you can write n pi also. So whenever a node is formed where displacement is 0, the amplitude of the wave should become 0, because displacement is equal to amplitude into something. If displacement is 0, amplitude must be 0. So for node formation, for a node, amplitude must be equal to 0. So at node, amplitude is 0. So now you can see this sine kx must be equal to sine 0, sine pi, sine 2 pi, sine 3 pi, sine n pi. So from this we can write kx can be equal to n pi here, where n is equal to, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So from this we can write what is k, that is the propagation constant, which we can write it as 2 pi by lambda into x is equal to n pi. Cancel this pi and pi. From this you can write x is equal to, as we cancel this one, n lambda by 2. Now you substitute n is equal to 0, you will get if n is equal to 0, x will become 0 into lambda by 2, which is equal to 0. If n is equal to 1, then x will become 1 into lambda by 2, which is equal to lambda by 2. If n is equal to 2, then x is equal to 2 into lambda by 2 lambda. So when n is equal to 0, x is equal to 0. So along x-axis, so this is the point where x is equal to 0, and where is the next node will be formed? Next node will be formed when x is equal to lambda by 2. So this one is the first node is this one, this is second node. So what is the distance between two nodes? This is equal to lambda by 2, because this is the distance between the first node and second node. Similarly, distance between second node and third node, this is also equal to lambda by 2. If you take for an antinode to be formed in a stationary wave, so this is antinode here, this is antinode. So where the antinode is formed? So for antinode to be formed, displacement must be maximum. So I can write amplitude which is equal to 2a sin kx cos omega t, but I am taking only the amplitude. This must be equal to maximum. For this to become maximum, two value never changes, amplitude never changes. Only this sin kx should become maximum. So from this we can write sin kx is equal, what is the maximum value of sin theta? That must be equal to 1. So from this we can write sin kx is equal, here you can see this is an antinode, this is an antinode, this is antinode. That means at the antinode the displacement may be positive or negative. That's why I can write this as a maximum value means either positive +1 or -1. So this I can write sin 90 degrees which is equal to sine pi by 2, and the next possibility is sine 3 pi by 2, which is equal to minus 1. Next sine 5 pi by 2, and so on, sine 2n plus 1 into pi here by 2 here. So here if you substitute 0 here, n is equal to 1, so this will become 2 ones are 2 plus 1, 3 pi by 2, and here you can write n is equal to 0, 0 plus 1 is 1 pi by 2, this is 1 pi by 2. If you keep n is equal to 1, you will get to 3 pi by 2, n is equal to 2, 5 pi by 2. So where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So from this we can write this equation. Now what is the possibility here? This kx value equal to pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2 and so on, 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. Or as we see here, we have taken only the final expression kx is equal to n pi, where n is equal to these are the values. So for the antinode to be formed here, I am going to write k is equal to 2 pi by lambda into x, which is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. This pi and pi get cancels, so x value will be 2n plus 1 into this 2 lambda, so this will become lambda by 4. Now you substitute lambda is equal to n is equal to 0 in this equation. If you keep n is equal to 0, x will become 2 zeros are 0 plus 1, this is lambda by 4. If n is equal to 1, 2 ones are 2 plus 1, 3, 3 lambda by 4, this is 3 lambda by 4. So this is the first node here, first antinode, this is the second antinode and so on. So what is the distance between two antinodes here? The distance between the two antinodes, once again, the antinode to antinode distance 3 lambda by 4 minus lambda by 4, which is equal to 2 lambda by 4 or lambda by 2. So the distance between two successive nodes is lambda by 2. Distance between two successive antinodes is also equal to lambda by 2. So node to node distance is equal to lambda by 2, half of the wavelength. Antinode to antinode distance is also lambda by 2, but node to antinode, antinode to node, so this distance will be half of the lambda by 2, which is equal to lambda by 4.